What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Gamer Guardians podcast. I'm your host, Danny Martinez, the Drunken Guardian. This is episode 81 of the podcast. Today, we got Boneless Bones, Kevin, and Danny, the Sober Guardian. What's up, guys?
What's
Hey,
going on? What's going on, guys?
So today we don't have a lot going on. It's been a really slow month for gaming news lately, but we do have a little bit of some stuff to talk about, such as the Steam Deck 2 possibly being worked on. Pretty much, Gabe Newell talked about it a little bit, and a little bit about Bungie, how they feel about the Steam Deck, as well as Super Smash Brothers not being an EVO this coming EVO, and then we'll also talk about our impressions of Elden Ring. So Elden Ring, if you guys were joining us before, we were actually just literally streaming it, and we played for a good couple hours. So we were having a bit of fun with that, trying to kill Godric because we're all starting new with the game. But anyways, before we do
not,
that, go ahead, Danny.
not we all, you two.
Damn,
I,
you could have
I,
just let
Brett,
that
You
I
you
live.
just,
could have
I,
just let that
I,
go,
I just say
but you
you
just had to
two.
just
Yeah,
stick the little dagger in there.
hell
I'm,
yeah.
I'm level
But
60.
you get
You guys
60,
know.
65. Yeah, that's right. 66. I just leveled just fine.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
All right.
Well, so the first thing we'll talk about first is Gabe Newell had an interview with Edge magazine, and he talked about how people are really, even though they already have two models of the Steam Deck out right now, people will be like, "Oh, when is the next better end system coming? When is a higher end version coming? The more expensive version?" And he's already aware of people wanting that, so they're already working it out, they're already thinking about it, so they're already thinking about the future and stuff like that. And Steam Deck 2 will probably be seen pretty soon, I would think, within the next year or something. I hope it's not like one of those trends where uh a fucking new system comes out every like 2 years or something, like an iPhone or some shit like that, because that's pretty much what happens with like typical PCs, is that the best graphics cards and the best parts come out like a year or two later, and then you're already 10 years behind. um, but aside from that, before we get to the whole topic of Steam Deck, I also wanted to mention as well that Bungie left a comment as well about the Steam Deck now that it's released, saying that they will not support the Steam Deck because the Steam Deck does not work in Windows. It works in its own operating system, and they don't agree with it. Didn't really say why exactly, but for the most part, it's pretty much because they're trying to avoid a lot of cheating, which is a big problem for PC players for Destiny. So they even said themselves that anybody caught playing Destiny 2 on a Steam Deck using their operating system will be banned
Shot.
from the game.
Take a shot.
Will be banned from the game. So, what are your thoughts on the Steam Deck 2 and the future of Steam Deck 2 and the trend of shit going on while I do take my shot, apparently? Whoever wants to go first.
I,
Sober go first.
I think I think it makes perfect sense on why Bungie will be like, no, we don't want you. And I can see a lot of other games doing the same thing because it's its own operating system that's not regulated right now. I think obviously this is gonna be temporary until you know, like, but Kevin, we can hear all your background noise, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh,
and close your
shit.
door
Hold on.
or something.
If I close the door, the dog will leave. Come here. Come on.
Shot.
There you go, perfect.
Hey, beautiful.
So
Sorry,
I
guys.
think it makes perfect sense because of the fact that it's a new operating system that you can do tons of hacks and shit like that and create your own
Vulnerable,
code or
yeah.
whatever. Super vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes 100% sense that they didn't want access to that because it makes the game unfair, especially when they're trying to make it like a little more serious with its PvP and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So um, I wouldn't be surprised if like Call of Duty things like that also say something similar later on because they'll find out cheating behind that as well. Because again, it's an operating system that you can't really regulate right yet. Now, like all new operating system, obviously they're gonna become even the stupid one for Amazon. It's Valorant.
Mm-hmm.
They're making games for that. And
Hmm.
this would be the same thing where they'll make games specifically for the Steam Deck. And once that happens, then that's when all the actual regulations would be done. But that's also why I think Steam Deck is also saying, look, yes, technically you can run all this stuff, but we don't recommend, like they have.
Didn't Steam, sorry, not Steam, didn't Valve say that they wanted their stuff to be open source though? I
Yeah.
don't. I'm pretty sure, right? So like, would
So you
like
never.
keeping it open source would be really hard to keep regulations and like
Yeah.
hacking and
So
shit like that done, right?
so a lot of the big multiplayer games you might not ever see
Eesh. Yeah.
on Steam because of a problem like that.
Hmm.
So like, I know even Elden Scrolls has hacking problems as well because of the
Hmm.
PC. So it's just why I keep it like the same platform. I don't make it do. I don't let it. You can choose multi-platform or not. So I turn that off because I already heard there's tons of ways you can cheat, and it's been seen and proven that I've seen tons of video of people just put all their stats up to 99999.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And it was just for them to test out everything. But it's like
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah,
and again,
developer settings and stuff.
that's yeah, and that's why I was going to get PCs and shit like that. But
Now, what about Kevin?
Give me one sec. The fucking music was blasting in my ear by accident. It makes sense that why Bungie would do that, especially like with the problems that they had with Destiny's some of the mechanics were unbalanced. They don't want to give people more access to just make the game extremely a walkthrough, an easy walkthrough. And I don't like as of right now. I'm not really interested in getting. I was interested before, but like responsibilities, they
Fucking
ti-
what's the
it,
lower end model? 400 or 500?
400 or 500.
Yeah.
I think it's like 400 for the other one, and then like 550 or 500 for the one above that.
Yeah.
But it's like,
no, it's like the last one is like 700. Almost 800.
I don't
oh
remember
my god,
anymore.
I don't. Hold
Yeah.
on,
But you're saying anyways, responsibilities, so it's not like you can
yeah,
pay for another
yeah.
system pretty much.
And then I haven't heard anything like good, like not good about, like I haven't heard a lot of good things about the Steam Deck, because no good news
No
is bad
news. No
is
news
bad
is bad news.
bad news. Yeah, no news is bad news. Especially like not hearing anything positive about it. It's like that kind of was
Yeah.
just like oh yeah, it's
The
like a
only
whatever.
thing that I've heard about it was the joystick drift. That's
Yeah,
pretty much it.
yeah, and I figured that with like this, not saying that they were pretty much comparing the same situation, is that the Switch Joy Cons like have drift. Like it's bound to happen. It doesn't matter how many Joy Cons you get.
Hmm.
There's gonna be a stage and point, like a time and place, that you're gonna end up getting drift.
Yep.
And not being able to do that with like not being able to like change the joysticks for the Steam Deck is gonna hurt it eventually, because you can't do shit if you start getting drift. Like, what if you're like the left one or the right one starts messing up and you can't move the mouse or do anything, or it just goes to the left or it goes to the right whenever it feels like it? That's
Hmm.
going to be an inconvenience, and you spend $650, which is the high end one, $400, which is the low end one. And I'm like, I don't want to spend that type of money. And then
This is
yo,
when they also start this is when they also start selling you like extended warranties and like accidental damage plans and
yeah,
bullshit like that.
exactly. I'm not okay with paying for some. I'm not okay with paying $500-$600 for something, and then I know in my heart of heart that it's gonna stop working after a certain period of time, like without a doubt. And that's what scared me about it. Like I was interested before, but then realizing like it's 650 for a computer,
Hmm.
for a small computer, a smaller computer,
Hmm.
and I can pay like $150 less and get a laptop, and the laptop be fine. You
Hmm.
know what
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean?
still curious if Randy got it or not, if he's playing with it or not. But I think he would have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully Randy joins us. By the way, Randy's not with us. He has some technical difficulties and stuff going on. So, but hopefully he could
He
join us in chat at least. Hopefully later on.
he did a back he did a backflip and got a boo boo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
Uh,
done that.
so shit. I've never seen you do a backflip in my life.
Yeah.
So Super Smash Brothers. We got some news that Super Smash Brothers won't be at
Oh,
EVO.
hold on, I have a few more things about the Steam Deck that I wanted
What's up?
to talk about.
Okay.
As you guys mentioned, obviously the fact that they're already looking at the next gen
Hmm.
of it or whatever
The
you call
next
it.
the next upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just upgrading parts.
and that's originally what I said. I always said that I'm going to be excited for the next one, not
Ah,
this one,
I get you.
because this one is gonna have tons of bugs and tons of shit that's wrong with it. But I
Hmm.
think it's gonna make enough money so they can go, okay, good. Now we can afford to really put some
Was it
R&D
you
into
who
this
mentioned
thing.
the battery life? You were
Yeah,
worried
Yeah.
about the battery life? Yeah.
100% battery life because the battery life on the Switch dies. That you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I have a Switch now. Now I realize it. So I mean, not like
Mm.
that, but it got like at least 6 hours. I
Mhm.
think straight you can do on it. So
Oof, imagine a Steam
this
Deck.
that's what I'm
Isn't a
saying.
Steam Deck like 3 hours or some shit?
Yeah.
2.5.
Two and a
Two
half
and a
hours.
half. Okay.
2.5 hours,
And
maybe.
then again, and then I always said it. Yes, 2.5 hours to probably 3. I think is what I saw. But this is not on like AAA games. This is on the regular
On a
Steam Deck
low
that they
end
have
game,
right now.
yeah.
Yeah. So I can't imagine what like Elden, because that's what everybody's showing. They like to play Elden Ring on it. Okay, but how much graphics is this taking? How much is taking all its resources to fucking play this game? So that's why I'm excited for the next one.
Hold on.
You
We
better get an
can't say.
Xbox before you get the Steam Deck too, though. I'm gonna be
Hold
mad.
on.
I have no room for an Xbox. I literally
Find
have
room. Figure that shit out. You got a whole year or two to probably
Okay.
figure that out.
So we
no games
keep
I want to play besides maybe Halo. But
you can
Kevin?
play it on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
The battery life is at worst 83 minutes. At best, yes. I swear to God. Swear to God. I'm reading it
that
from
was
the
bad. Think about
that's
that.
at worst. At best, it's 7 hours and 9 minutes, which is
Again,
not
with
bad.
probably a low end, like low requirement game.
Yeah,
You're using
yeah,
it as a fucking as I am.
yeah.
And
You gotta,
you just on Facebook, it'll last 7 minutes.
yeah. Yo,
No, not
imagine
even
running.
that. I can't take Facebook. That video. Fuck
uh,
that.
Imagine,
Chat.
imagine running Elden Ring on it and it
Who's this?
dies like the beginning of the like
You
when you
one
get
more
out
hit
of it.
before the boss
The
comes.
boss
Are you about
dies.
to finish the boss?
It's like, all right, bro, I gotta go. Just boop, boop. It
Think,
shows
think
you the
about
dead.
think about how long it took us to just to do the first. This is the first. This is easy. This is extremely easy dungeon like level
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
that we were doing,
Imagine the rest of that
and
shit.
look how long it took. You know what I
Wait,
mean?
but let's not get into Elden Ring yet. We're gonna wait till the end. So and
Oh,
nothing else on Steam Deck, right?
but that's what
Uh,
I was just saying on Steam Deck that I can't wait for the next one when they
oh,
fully
the
attack
upgraded
the
versions.
shit, the super upgraded. You know, we've actually put. I don't think it's gonna be a year. I think it's gonna be like 3 years,
I
if
give it
not
Mm,
5.
more.
I
I
give
would
it
think
Yeah,
5 years.
I
They're
say
gonna
I
perfect
say
it.
3 to 5 years before they come out with a new one.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, otherwise it's just they're gonna try. They need as much money as they can for what it is right
Yeah.
now. I just hope because I like the concept. I think the concept is smart. I
Mhm.
just don't think it's gonna work now. And no matter how much you try, like there's no way you master this shit on the first try and said, look at what we did. I think they were pulling, they were trying, and that this is a good try and this is a good attempt, and it just needs the money behind it to back it up. So,
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought you were giving a
Okay.
point. You're choking and dying.
All right. So that'll end that part. We'll go back to Smash Brothers, like I was saying before. Super Smash Brothers. Nintendo announced that they won't be. Did Nintendo announce it? I'm sorry.
Yeah. It was
Nintendo announced it that they won't be in EVO and for this year 2022, and they didn't really give a reason why. They said a lot of corporate mumbo jumbo and stuff like that, but no clear reason. And a lot of people are just assuming it's because now that Sony owns EVO, they're excluded from it, even though Sony had already said, oh, we're still going to be multi-platform, we're still going to honor and do other fighting tournaments from other fighting games and stuff like that. But I mean, who knows what happened in the background and stuff. So I wanted to know Kevin's impressions. Kevin's the fighting guru for the show, and I wanted to know what you thought about that idea. Did Sony had anything to do with it, probably, or maybe this Nintendo decided to just back out this year for some reason? Maybe the
Eh,
controversy and stuff that was going on
the-
before. So
yeah, I especially not saying it in the nicest way. The Smash community is kind of in a rough patch where it was because they had a lot of allegation after allegation after allegation, and they don't want
What?
they huh
What
CP.
Mario touched?
No,
Like
no, no, no,
no,
no,
we're
no,
not
no.
gonna get
Mario
into it.
touched
We're not gonna get
Peach?
No,
into
no,
that.
no,
Not
no, no,
funny.
no, no, but it was like situations like that and
Is
grooming
it
and
really?
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
serious.
you can it's serious, like serious. And
Oh,
I'm guessing Evo doesn't want to let that happen in their platform. I don't know, it's probably just speculation, but from like
what?
it was last from like 2019 and back, a lot of incidents happened and a lot of incidents came up to light during that time, and then quarantine happened, and then everybody just like with like everything happened, but a lot of things happened during quarantine that it just like exposed or like it brought to light situations that happened. And Nintendo doesn't want their game to give people that opportunity to like be able to do what they did. And like shame to those people that did it. Honestly, it's fucking horrible. But it not
I'm sorry. I'm a little confused. Who did what? Where?
um
I don't.
Nin-
You don't get into specifics, but I'm still just little.
if you look up story, because I don't want to
It's
like
it's a lot of sexual harassment and
harassment, a lot
From
allegations
who?
allegations.
with minors
Play,
especially.
yeah,
Yeah.
And also what does it call it?
Nintendo executives or what?
No,
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 no, no,
no,
no,
no.
no, no. Players, in
Yeah,
tournament,
players in tournaments.
player
Oh,
like
players at
professional.
EVO.
Hmm.
Yes,
Oh, okay. This I
yeah,
Yeah.
didn't. No, I had no idea about
There's a lot
yeah,
of sweeping under the rug. People are trying to like ignore it, and
yeah.
yeah, a lot of
People
people
put a lot of grooming, a lot of gaslighting, a lot of
grooming. That was the word I was looking
yeah,
for. Yeah, there's a lot of
that.
grooming going on and stuff too.
Okay, I
yeah,
can see this.
and I'm guessing Nintendo doesn't want their game or like their platform to be there and be like part of this community. And
And
like
when did this stuff come to light? I don't remember.
2019.
Oh, so it came out in 2019.
2019, more of it came out 2020, 2021 a little bit. Like more of the stuff was like officially it came out like 2019, like it was the first person, and then it was just like after that was article after article after article, and then people like
Yeah.
twit longers and things like that. Like it was bad like for a while. And like when we say like when I joke about like oh the the Smash community is toxic, it's not that the community is toxic, is that what happened there was it's pretty much like the Bungie thing.
I find
It
it.
was like
Yeah, I'm
uh-huh.
sorry. Go ahead. No, keep going.
It's like the Bungie situation that it's like a lot of stuff happened behind closed doors and we didn't realize it till later on. And then they show like video after video. You can look it up and you can actually look up what happened in the Smash community a couple years ago, and that happened.
So I have a question. Did they? So they go out. They join. So this happened in. I don't know how it just happened in 2019.
Okay.
Was any more in 2020?
Uh, quarantine happened, so I don't think it happened.
Oh, so
Yeah,
quarantine happened.
we
Okay.
didn't have
We
Evo
didn't have
2020.
2020.
So this is the first Evo since. No, that's so. What about 2021?
2021 is
2021 was online only.
online.
Okay, then it makes sense that they don't want people joining
Yeah,
because this is the first in live person where
yeah,
something could happen. There's been a lot of bad allegations and shit that's going on.
yeah,
So they're keeping a low
Yeah,
profile.
yeah.
yeah,
That
they're
makes
keeping a low
sense.
profile,
Yeah.
making sure everything's backing up and up before they associate themselves back with this. That could be because they know. I think they know that more. You know,
More cases were gonna happen if they let it rock.
I think they know more than what let up. Obviously, what was going on at these things,
Hmm.
and weren't on board with it, which just sounds good. And again, this is how like we don't know for sure. None of us are obviously part
Yeah,
of this,
yeah,
where we
yeah. It's
assume
speculation at this point.
speculation, but it kind of does make sense because why else would you want to s-
Pull out.
pull out unless they were taking it? Because I thought like, oh, you keep going with your thought, and I'll tell you what I thought.
Uh, no, because I was gonna say like it happened. It happened that long ago, and it's like it's not every tournament, but it was very frequent that it
Mhm.
happened. You know what I mean? And it was like there was events, and then
It was also like big name players
yeah,
and fans as well. Like it was all like
yeah,
connected with that as well. Like it wasn't just inside Evo itself with like players versus players, but it was also players and fans and stuff
yeah.
and people online like social media and whatever.
And they made a rule that it was like not evil but like specific tournaments, like there was like you can't go to you can't double. You can double with somebody, but you have to come in with a parent if you're under a certain
Mm.
age, like a guardian. And then it was like hygienic properly, like regular, like you have like those rules I found funny, but it's just like I didn't know that it was like serious
The
like
high.
that.
What was the hygienic? Because you could cut off a
You
little
have
bit.
you have to take a you can't stink. You have to wash your ass.
Honestly, okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have to. Danny, how many
Y-
times we got? You didn't go to King Games that much, but remember going to King Games, a bunch of cards playing them. You know, these guys playing video games and
Yeah.
card games,
Yeah.
and
Whoa.
you know what that room smell like.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
man, shake that ass. It would shake that ass. We know.
Is
Yeah, the thing is with some of those people you can't even help. Like you can shower and people will still have bad BO. for
It's
whatever
that
reason.
their clothes and
Yeah.
they,
Yeah.
they don't wash their clothes properly. They
And
wear the same fucking shirt and
I,
yeah,
pants.
so
exactly.
so what I was gonna say before, like, because I didn't want to interrupt your thought
No,
on the
you're good.
Evo
You're good.
stuff, was I find it funny and strange that there's a trend that goes on, and I'm not saying you said it's a bad trend. I think it's a good trend. Uh, when situations like sexual harassment and stuff like that pops up, that it's always that one person who gets the ball rolling, and then you get like a snowball effect of just everybody else finally opening up about it because they
Uh-huh.
build up that courage and stuff. Like it's the same thing like you mentioned with Bungie. It's the same thing with Activision Blizzard, the Cosby incident.
Well,
Uh,
it's not that they one person opened up. It's the one person got through. There's a difference.
Yeah.
There's tons of people who are saying stuff, you know what I mean? And it gets swept under the rug, and then it finally gets swept under the rug,
mm,
and then finally that one person gets through to either the right person or social media or whatever it was to
You,
actually make your word
I don't
heard.
I don't think it's that because testimonies from people, obviously I can't speak for them because I've
But
never
a
dealt with
lot
that
of them,
stuff. A lot of
but
people
I know,
always
but a lot
say
of them
that
is
they never build up the courage to say anything because of whatever situation that they're in. I
because
don't think it's
a
because
lot
they
of
went through, it's because they decided
mhm.
no,
to
honestly, a
fight
lot of them,
and do
but a
something
lot of
about it.
yes, but a lot of them also is because I heard that so and so tried to fight it and got fired or got
Yeah.
worse or whatever it was. You know what I mean?
But that's
And
why people stay
that's
quiet
part of the
about
fear.
it.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So that's part of the fear monger. That's part of the fear monger. So that means it if you get 20 people who tried, it may not seem like a lot, even though there are hundreds of people who's happened, but only 20, you know what I mean? Only a few of them actually tried. All you need to hear is that one no, oh shit, that one person tried and got in trouble, even when
But here's
people
my
family
point. Here's my
people
point, though.
like,
Why
"Look,
do
I'm
you
not gonna
think?
say anything."
Why do you think they got through after, let's say, they got fired or they got reprimanded or whatever, for that stuff? It's because they
But a
still
lot of them,
continued to fight for it and continued to try to fight through it. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Is that the
oh
one
yeah,
person, had the courage to not give up and continue this until until they
yes,
got
yes, you're right.
through,
No,
and
you're
then
right.
everybody else is like, "Oh shit, one person got through. Fuck it, let's just keep going. Let's get this momentum going."
You want to know how I can relate this? This is like
Because it is and again, it is a hard situation when if you're
yeah.
trying to go through, you're
Yeah.
trying to do something, and they tell you,
It,
"Fuck, you're
uh-huh.
fired." You're like, "Fuck." Now my whole life career is
Yeah.
done. I shouldn't have said it. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have said anything. I should have kept quiet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then although else hears, "Oh man, yeah, they said something, got fired, and then nothing happened of it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone."
Yeah.
But like, you're right. When that one person goes, "You know what? I got fired. Fuck you. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going." And then finally gets through because that one person decides to really put their foot down or
Yeah.
go, "You know
Mhm.
what? Oh, I've heard all you others people," and it's a great thing, and
Yeah.
it's a hard, it's super hard
Yeah.
to do something like that, and everybody can
Yeah.
do it, and kind of give them people props for doing that,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I heard stories about it, I wasn't even big on the Smash community, but I was into the fighting game community, and that's every game. Like I don't like every fighting game that comes out. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I enjoy the community because it's the community that makes me want to learn about the game and watch it. Like there's a bunch of games that you guys won't know that I watch, and some of them are dumb. But when I started hearing story after story, and it was like in like it was like drowning. It was like every day somebody was saying every day there was at least 13 stories that I heard about players that I like.
So
know.
so has all this stuff kind of changed your view on Smash or Evo or any of
No,
that stuff?
no. What it changed is that I was like, I didn't know human beings can be like that in the tournament.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah, I didn't know that because I'm more of a, and this is the problem that I have, is that I have that idea that everybody is innocent.
Mhm.
Everybody has the same mindset of me, that they're not corrupt.
Such
And
such
then
a
this
such a young mind. Such a young
yeah,
mind.
and
Well,
You'll
it's not
get
even
there.
that.
You'll get there in our
Well, it's not.
age. It's okay. It's okay.
yeah,
No, but it's not even that. It's the fact that like, okay, like the fighting community, it's a big community where they nobody else who's not in a fighting game community can get why they're so involved, right?
yeah,
So like it's kind of like. Uh, it's a little different from just your average gaming community because fighting game community, it's like you don't really, some fighting people don't like other games. All they do is like fighting and they encourage each other. They want to beat. It's a half competitive, half nurturing, half everything,
yeah,
and it's just a different world for the fighting game community. So when
yeah,
you're seeing all these people who are being just so positive to you, positive encouraging all
Mhm.
this crazy shit. It's so crazy to hear that like your heroes or the people who are you've been your partners
Mhm.
in this are doing stuff.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. And when I realized that, it hurt. Like, I honestly for a while didn't play a lot of, and it's not that it hurt me, it was just like I don't give a fuck about how I'm feeling at the moment. I can't relate to how they feel. And that's what it like I wanted to understand. So I started
Hmm.
watching like story after story after story, like, and I went through that rabbit hole, and I didn't find any happiness from it. Like, some of the people, they just stopped playing altogether. Some people just like they did something else. Like, some people recovered from it, and I'm not gonna say that they're gonna be 100% back to their normal self, but they're getting back into something that they're passionate about.
Hmm.
And when you start hearing that shit and like what was happening, and like I don't say that it doesn't happen in every community, but like when it's a community that you're very advocate about, it hurts so fucking much, because you're like, why can't people just be normal? And then it's just like these are people. There's not everybody's a good apple. Not everybody's gonna be the best person that they could be. Some people are pieces of shit, and I gotta accept that. But that me realizing that hurt a lot, because I was like, I'm looking at people with like, like the tinted glasses, like, oh,
Yeah.
they're not gonna shoot me in the foot and then stab me in the back, like. That's never gonna happen, and it happens, and you're just like, "Wow, I didn't think this is ever gonna happen." You know what I mean?
I was I was the same way, and I'll still do that every now and then. But for the most part, I think I'm very cynical with that stuff. Like, I'll consider you a neutral to bad person, I would say, until you prove otherwise. Pretty much.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the way
definitely.
I see things for the most part.
Yeah.
I don't know about you,
And
Danny.
what's up, Dan? Go ahead, speak your mind. Is
know,
he?
what?
Oh,
How you
it's me.
initially see people?
Um,
Hmm?
I don't know. I don't really have
I mean, you meet people all the time because you have to work with people, don't you?
I I don't like people, right? So I
Uh-huh.
actually, if I'm not working, like I can't stand people.
So I mean,
Um,
so that answers the question. Do you kind of just see people as more like they're always flawed, and you
no,
see them
I mean
more as like
I
a
don't.
bad people until they prove otherwise, or do you see them as just neutral? They're just like you don't really care.
Yeah, probably it's 100% neutral. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's neutral. I don't really give a shit about anyone. I mean,
Mm,
I have no reason to like or dislike anybody, period, because I don't want to know them.
Hmm.
Work people are different. All the people that I have to, work people are different because I
butter
actually,
up.
yeah, I have to butter out them, so it's just dollar signs in my eyes. So when I see them, every different coworkers are a little bit different, but it's still okay. I have to get stressed to because this is part of my job. We have to talk. We have to have dinners, lunches, all the bullshit that we do. I don't want to do this, but this is just my act that I have to put on. But at the end of the day, like, it's sad, but it sucks. But if I leave this job, go to a new one, go to new state or new place, I'm never gonna really see a maybe think about them maybe now and then, like a story that came up, but that's about it. But I'm not gonna really make the hesitation to keep in contact with people because they're not really that impactful in my life. They're not really
Yep.
gonna be impactful.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
it's rare that I even let that happen. I
Hmm.
keep working life separate. So when it
Yeah.
comes to seeing people or what they can do or what they can do, it's just no, just stay away.
Hmm.
Now having kids and everything and having to try to protect them can be a little bit different because it's like
Of
we do
course.
mommy, my family does mommy like that. So you have to try to just really get to know them and just hope that all those people you're meeting and forming relations with are on the same level as you.
Yeah.
But I'd say there's still that level of as a parent, like okay, I have my kids aren't old enough yet to do like sleepovers yet, but it's like, do I really want to do sleepovers? I'd rather come sleep over in my house because I can control the situation. I know
Yeah.
nothing's happening in my house, so I'm fine. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
So,
so,
welcome to the Health Potion podcast.
Exactly.
I feel
Yeah.
like that's what we're doing right now, but yeah, no, I see what you mean, Danny.
but it's like it's kind of be up to I can control the narrative that way, but at the same time, is I know there are other parents who might feel the same way. So it's like that catch 22 of you really, and then that's when I hope my wife can really get to know the mom and the parent really get to know them before we make that. Because it is, again, they always say it's the people closer to you
Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
who do stuff like that, negative things, regardless if it's how old you are.
Mhm.
Even you can be older, have a relation where your wife cheats on you with a spouse or of a friend of a friend or whatever, because
Mhm.
you guys are very close. It'll be the same situation now.
Mhm.
You don't have to keep it as dark as we were before,
Yeah.
but it could be the same situation where my wife makes a new friend and we
Mhm.
start hanging out.
Mhm.
We may not want to, but we hope everything's good, and we hope that my wife's just hanging out with a friend, and that's it. And there's nothing else going on, and you just gotta hope for the people you care for most, and kind of be positive
Okay.
until you see a sign, and then if you see a sign, don't ignore it. That's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. Don't ignore signs.
Yeah.
Really look into it. It may make you seem like, oh, you're being stalkerish or whatever, but no, just ask questions. Really
Yeah.
find out what's going on in case something bad is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to. I feel like this is a health potion podcast, and I'm gonna jump
Yeah.
off.
Right.
It's gonna be
Right.
my only point for this is that it's hard to express that to somebody, especially like your significant other, or your like your wife in your case, Dan, because it's like they don't see it the same way you see it. They see it from their perspective, and it's like it's like the way to like say it's like a spidey sense that you can sense when the person is not good and they don't have good intentions, and
Mhm.
that's something that it's hard to express to somebody because they're just gonna see it like, oh no, it's fine, that's my friend, you know what I mean, blah blah blah. They're never gonna do that, and then like that happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta try to
So,
be.
and that going back to our story, that story like that happened too. I swear, it's like, and it wasn't just like like what we were talking like the CP stuff and all that stuff. It was like everything that you can think of, like as like the bad thing that can happen was happening like during these events and like some of the stuff that was happening. And I was like, some of these stories, and I was like, it wasn't just EVO, it was like mad tournaments to the point that
Oh,
I didn't even want to play
And
Smash
that's
competitively.
the thing too. Like it's not even about like these people could lose their jobs and stuff like these are kids and stuff that they don't even understand what they're going through, and then they go through it,
Exactly.
and so they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to react. They don't know how to
Mhm.
like go to the right people. So it's just like
was
they're
it
fucking
mostly
lost.
Smash? Or was it mostly Smash because Smash has a
Yes.
younger
Hmm.
audience?
Yes. It was at the moment when I found out, it was mostly Smash. Sometimes it was like the speedrunning community, but it happens. But it's like from what I was hearing, it was mostly Smash because Smash Bros has a very child friendly and like
Right.
gaming.
Environment. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
makes sense.
So it's like
A kid can pick
it's
up and play Smash, but a
yeah.
kid's not gonna pick up really start
Fucking
playing Mortal Kombat or something
Mortal
like that.
Kombat like Tekken or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it was like
No,
it was like, not saying it in the nicest way. It was like easy pickings for
no.
these fucking sickos that were taking advantage of these kids at that time, and that's what made it terrible. That's what made like them like start making tournament like specific rules. Like you have to be hygienic every time you're like under like let's 15 minor. You have to guardian, and your guardian you
You're
can't.
you're
You're
breaking up,
breaking
Kevin.
up.
Oh, sorry. Hello. It sounds
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was saying like it was like there was like that's why they made those specific rules. The hygienic rules were like normal. It was like because people, not saying that they were bad, but it was like they had bad BO like consistent. All right, Coco. And the guardian rule, like the parent, it has to be a parent or guardian with you at all times. You cannot go to an event, be a minor, and then being a like I can't go with like let's say for example I go with my like 16-year-old nephew. I'm okay to go with him, but he can't go by himself because
Yeah,
they don't, huh? And that's why I was
makes
like,
sense.
okay,
Honestly,
mhm,
this is me as a parent.
yeah,
Your kids shouldn't be alone at those shits anyway.
and that's what
Yeah.
I thought.
Never. Never should have.
And that's what I didn't think about
16
that till later, till these things started happening because I'm like,
even 16 is old.
yeah,
As a parent, right?
hmm
You should be because this. Sorry, let's forget the whole thing, the
every,
sexual harassment thing. Let's forget that.
yeah,
That was even happening. But as a parent,
uh-huh,
you should be there for your kid,
hmm
helping and supporting what they're doing,
yeah,
especially if they're getting to a point where they're at a high level of
hmm
something.
yeah,
right?
of
Or
course.
even if they're starting to, like, oh, I want to become the gym. I'll take you to a game. Come on,
Mm-hmm.
we'll go.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a good parent, you should be there and be like, okay, I'm supporting you. The same thing goes to a soccer game, football game, whatever. You know, go to
Mm-hmm.
PV soccer for a reason. Go into the 18 and then college. You go to see every one of their games.
Yep.
You know, and if they
And
know you're
see,
there
that's
as a
that's
good
the
parent,
thing. The thing though is like you're one of those types of parents, which like I applaud for. And the problem is like a lot of how do you say, a lot of children that are heavy gamers are usually because a lot of their parents just allowed them to just be in front of their TV as like their babysitter, or like in front of a
yeah,
tablet, or in front of
Yeah.
whatever it may be. So I'm not surprised that a lot of parents didn't want to join them in these tournaments,
Yeah.
because for the most part it was just their version of just, here you go and do your own thing, to
Yeah.
babysit, go play your games, go watch your YouTube, go listen to your podcast or
Oh,
your music and stuff, and let me do my own thing. So this was another extension of that. The way I see it is that the parents are just
but
like, oh, go
yeah,
fucking do your
I have
tournament stuff
I
and,
have
and do
I
your
have
own
a
thing.
I have a counter.
and I have to defend
Go.
the iPad thing or the TV thing a little bit.
Hmm.
When me and my wife are very big on trying to limit the TV time,
Hmm.
Mhm.
right? But as we work hard and we're more tired, I'm very blessed to what I have. My wife's
Go,
able to work from
go, 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 go,
so
go,
she's able to
go,
actually
bro.
take
You're on
care
my
of them.
back. Go,
I can't hear you, Danny.
go. If you're not gonna go, then stay.
I,
But I feel you,
I
bro.
I said I'm able to my wife's able to work from home and everything, which is like a blessing that a lot of people don't have.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that, like today is a perfect example. I came home and my kid was just the worst. My son was just absolutely white. He needed to take a nap and he was just really bad. He was super overtired. He was just crying for every little thing. He was 4 years old. He shouldn't be crying. I mean, like he's super white. I couldn't take it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I just wanted to walk away, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
My wife saw that and said, "Don't worry, I got it. Just go. You hard day." Now
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine having both parents coming home to see that. You know what I mean? Because both parents
Mm-hmm.
come home, you're both fucking exhausted. So of
Mm-hmm.
course, what you gonna do? Oh, just watch TV. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we've done that. We've both been so tired. Like we're just gonna go Chinese and watch.
Well, I'm not saying you can't like put a tablet in front of them or watch it
But
or
there,
put a
but
TV in
there,
front of them. I'm just saying there's a difference between using it as a tool versus using it as a crutch.
All right, Dan, sober. I have a question for
yeah,
you.
and again, but I'm just saying, yeah, and there are like, it's just sometimes it is just easier for parents to go, here, yeah, just
Yeah.
watch this TV because I
Yeah.
just can't do it. And then after a while, there's they can't be in as well. I mean, again, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying it's a perfect solution to everything. They
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing it, of course, but I can very much understand
Uh-huh.
why they do it now. Because before I used to be like, oh, I can't believe they let them watch. No, I
Yeah.
kind of wish my fucking kid was watching the iPad right now. I'm not gonna do it, but I kind of do wish, and partially, I secretly, I kind of get it. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
just at the end of the day, though, you have to like make the decision. All right, they're
Yeah.
not actually gonna tell them stupidness.
And there was a problem that I was having with that, and it's like you can support them, but the
Mm.
problem is when you like, I feel like support is always best physical, like if you're there with them, watching them like win or lose, or like just supporting their habit. But when these kids are literally, and I mean kids, are taking flights from like
On their
West
own.
Bubblefuck to wherever by themselves with with strangers that you like, you could say they're strangers, but it's just like you don't know anybody well enough that can take care of your kid better
Yeah,
than you. And that was the problem. It was like kids are going to these tournaments, flying, driving to these tournaments, sometimes by themselves, and it's like that's when that those types of situations happen, and that's
yeah,
what that was the problem. That it's like you're letting like children fly, do all these things by themselves, and then these type of things sometimes happen. You know what I mean? And that's what was the whole argument about. It's like they should be more strict on the rules in the center, but it's like you
Hmm.
can be, but that's what was these rules that were enforced like in certain tournaments that you like the specific rules that they set, like hygienic was just like because some people stink, and that's normal. The being with a guardian, that one made more sense to me because I was like, these kids shouldn't be with anybody but their parent or older sibling or somebody that knows them well enough. I'm not gonna let my kid go to a fucking tournament. I'm not gonna let my kid go to the Tekken tournament by themselves. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm going with you. I love Tekken. We're going. You know what I mean? Like that. It's
Yeah.
every
Well,
every
you love Tekken, so it's convenient for your kid. But there's a
no,
lot of
but
people
it's
out
like
there who don't know who the fuck
it could be
Pac-Man
it
is,
could,
and they're not gonna go and bother with the
no.
gaming stuff.
But that's what I'm saying. You have to get invested into your kids, and I'm not
Yeah,
saying you should get into investing in your kids' hobbies because those hobbies can be like something that they're passionate about, and you won't even know. And that's being a supportive parent. But I don't know how to do that because I can't say that because I'm not a parent. But as like a child that wanted that when
you
I
got
was
fur
younger,
babies.
yeah, I got fur babies, and I would want my mom to be like, "Yo, go to that fucking tournament. I'm gonna go with you. Even if you lose a match, I'm proud of you because you going to do something that you want." Like getting that from my friends and everything is fun and it's cool, but getting it from like your parents, like your loved ones, like your close loved ones, that shit means so much more. And it's like
Hmm.
that's what they needed, and they got taken advantage of. Like, and it sucks, but it sucks because they had to learn the hard way rather than the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I was like, that's why I feel Evo is Smash is not having Evo,
Ooh.
but it could be another game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be another game, and it's the same shit happening.
It could happen for anything else. That's the thing. But
Yeah.
Danny, final thoughts for Evo, just to finish up on Evo.
Um, I my final thought actually before all this came to light, and it's actually why it makes sense. I just thought it was
Oh,
Nin-
Nintendo being assholes.
no, I thought it was a PlayStation being
Sony.
assholes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Sony, because PlayStation technically doesn't make any. There is no correlation with making money um for them if Nintendo does well. Nintendo does well just takes their stuff away from them. If
Mhm.
Xbox does well, a lot of those games are cross-platform, so you
Yeah.
could play any of the ones, so you can you can kind of make money
Mm-hmm.
off of Xbox a little more than you can off of like a PlayStation type of thing. You know, seemingly anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I could be wrong. They probably could make the same amount, but
Mm-hmm.
again, that's what I originally thought. But now that all this stuff about the thing came to light, this is actually 100% what it is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Stay at a shitload of allegations, and obviously they don't want to be caught up with the rest of this.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for what we got to talk about when it comes to the news things. Again, we were playing. Hold on a second. I don't know if Kevin. Okay, so again, we were just streaming Elden Ring. I've only been playing for 3 days, and then I don't know how long Kevin's been playing, but Danny was pretty much playing it since day one release, and he was kind of holding our hands, showing us around for stuff so we could play the first boss, Godrich, whatever the fuck, the dragon hand dude, the multi hand job dude. Yeah,
Don't forget the foot, my guy.
and the one foot,
foot.
yeah. So
I'm going crazy for that.
so we played a little bit. You guys can still check that out. I have it on the Twitch. You know, just checking the library of the videos on our page. But I want to talk about our impressions of it because people are making such a huge deal. There's ratings everywhere for it, which is pretty much 9 or 10 out of 10. So it's practically a perfect game. Danny today, he caught me driving home from school, and we talked about it a little bit. And I knew he was gonna like my opinion about it, so I want to mention my opinion first before, so that way we can get an actual debate going. So my thoughts on Elden Ring, I'm not impressed.
Okay.
And that's mostly because it's pretty much the same thing to me, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's the same thing to me as any Dark Souls game. They even use a lot of the same sound effects. They use the same graphics. The whole "you died" thing is still on there. Of course, the difficulty is going to be the same regardless, and that's part of the fun and the challenge. But it's just it. All it is to me is Dark Souls open world. That's all it is to me. And yeah, the graphics are good, and it's expected to be good, especially when it's going to be for new gen consoles. So I'm not like, I don't know I don't know what the big deal is, but at the same time, I understand what the big deal is. So it's like, like I'm still gonna play the game and I'm still having fun with it, especially with you guys because the multiplayer was a lot of fun. But when I'm by myself, I'm kind of just on autopilot. Like I'm playing the exact same way I do with any other Dark Souls and Bloodborne game, exact same way. So it doesn't make a difference for me. I'm not wowed by it. So
Okay.
like what were your impressions?
If we weren't friends, I would fight you.
I really think I mean, there's no way. The game is just hands down. Like, you go first, Kevin, because
Okay, I could say this wholeheartedly. This is by far one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life. And that's
Why?
not even, huh?
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Okay, so the open world aspect is amazing. It's open world. It's
But-
done.
But before you go on, I just want to ask real quick. You've played other Dark Souls games before, right?
I've played other Dark Souls.
Okay,
I played Dark Souls, Neo 2. I played Bloodborne.
Okay, so go on.
So the open world aspect, it's been done. Correct. It's done to all hell. But I feel like for Elden Ring, it's so the way that you can play the game, it's literally drop you in the world and you do whatever the fuck you want. You want to fight the boss on the horse as soon as you see him.
But that's what an open world game is.
No, but I mean, like, you can do whatever you want. Like, you can play however you want. You can build how you can. It's an open world game that you can build, like, make your build however you feel like.
But
playing. If you wanna
that's
be a
no different than any Dark Souls
No,
game too.
really.
No. But I
No,
mean,
because
as a
most-
Dark.
Hold on.
As a FromSoft game, they've never. I don't think they had an open world game like
No,
this.
not an open world game, but all the other points that you're making is like
Yes,
making your
yes.
builds and stuff
Yes.
like that's already
You
been done in other Dark Souls games.
But
So
it-
what is it
it's-
that's new about this game that's wowing
Because-
people so much aside from the open world aspect?
The graphics look amazing. Listen, I'm playing on the PS4 Pro, and the shit looks gorgeous.
But the graphics are expected to
Okay.
be good.
But that's what I'm saying. On next gen, they look completely different. I'm playing the game on the last gen, and it still looks amazing. It has incredible graphics. The
Yeah,
combat,
I agree.
It's fast and fluid. It's like playing. It's like playing all the good aspects of those with Bloodborne from how fast it is. And then you can dual wield. And dual wield was something that it was just like foreign to like Dark Souls. So we was like, oh, we're never gonna dual wield again. You can dual wield two big ass swords and just Beyblade and win. And then they add the arcs. Like the arcs, it's like everything that you can ask for in a Dark Souls game, they're giving it to you and more. And then you have a fucking mount. The mount makes traveling so much fucking fun. Like I get into fights with mounts just cause. Like I wanna kill that. I see that guy riding. I want to kill him. Like you can do that. The way you want to play the game is literally in your hands, and how you want to build your character is also in your hands. I know that that's in other open world games, but in this type of like in Dark Souls, in like the Souls kind of game, it hasn't been done, and that's what's very fascinating about it. On top of the intriguing the fucking amazing story. The story is fucking crazy. You know what I mean? If you say so. Go ahead. Watch what we play. I'm not Resi. I'm not Healy. I'm like, yo.
I'm not saying the story. What I'm appreciative about the story is that it's all finally like, audio, it's cutscenes, it's actual dialogue. I don't like the whole lore bullshit because I deal with that enough. Fuck, I'm gonna do it now. I deal with that enough for Destiny, and Destiny's a pain in the ass to learn a lot of the lore because you have to read about like with random weapons and random armor and shit like that. I hated that aspect of Dark Souls. So I'm appreciative of how the story is told, but I still think it's a rather generic. Not generic. Maybe generic's too harsh of a word, but it's
I'm gonna fight
it's
you.
it's not something we've seen before though.
It's
something that we've seen before is what I'm saying.
You've seen something like it, but you haven't seen something like this.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, and that's what makes this game so like amazing. That it's not its own thing, but it's working with what it has and improved on it from the.
I agree
game.
I agree with that. Yes.
And that's why I enjoy this game so much. And it's not because I'm a FromSoft whore. I barely play FromSoft games. I've only played a handful of them. But everyone that I've played, I've enjoyed to like all fucking hell. Like I love the way the games are. And Sekiro was a fucking amazing game. And it takes things from Sekiro. It takes everything from every Souls game.
From all those, yes.
from all of them and puts it in this one, and then you get. If we had a grappling hook, I swear to God, I would be like, "This is the best game." I swear to God.
There's a grappling hook.
Oh, it's the best game ever. It's the best game ever. But that's what I'm saying. Like it's everything that we wanted from every. It's like basically making the most broken character in Dragon Ball by fusing fucking Ultra Super Saiyan 10 Goku and Ultra Super Saiyan. That's not a real thing. It's
So-
just me.
So let Danny go. But before Danny goes, I feel like this is one of those episodes of Elden Ring sucks. Changed my mind. Like that's what it feels like to me right now. But that's not what I'm saying. Elden Ring does not suck. It's still a fucking gorgeous, good game that everyone should play, whether you played a Dark Souls game or not. Of course, expect the difficulty to be the way it is, and don't fucking complain about it like a baby because it's expected from a From Software game. But go on, Danny. What's your?
Hold on, I want to say something about that real quick. FromSoft has a built-in like meme that everybody knows now. In every FromSoft game, the first thing you do is you get good, and that's what
Get
the whole
good.
game is about.
Yeah.
Get good. Don't bitch about the game being hard.
Mm-hmm.
Bitch about that you're not learning.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Dan. The floor is yours.
Here's the thing. Like, what are your biggest complaints about the game? I'm still
I don't
confused
have.
about-
Well, okay. So sorry. Oops,
You have
wrong thing.
complaints. You say you don't, you
So
don't think it's
complaints.
that big of a deal.
My complaint of the game, because I'm not saying complaints as if like I'm nitpicking and finding a lot of things wrong with it. My complaint about the game is that it's the same thing to me. It feels the same. It acts the same. It certainly doesn't look the same, but that's what I'm getting is that it plays the same. It acts the same. I guess story wise, you could say it's kind of the same. I mean, come on, you look at the thing between the what do they call the dead people versus the dead people in Dark Souls? I forget the
Turn
names.
and the Ashen ones. The
Yeah,
Ashen ones
it's the same fucking thing.
yeah.
Like
Tarnished.
it's just it's a rehashed version. It's what we talked about with Horizon. Horizon is, we played the first game, we loved it. That shit was a fucking 10 out of 10. And then when we saw the trailer for part 2, we talked about it often, is that part 2 looks like it's just a rehash version of part 1, except they made it better. They took the best things out of it and made it better. And that's what I feel like Elden Ring is. It's just it's nothing too special for me.
Because okay, so Horizon Zero Dawn, the difference between that and Horizon, the big fucking difference is that when you play Horizon Zero Dawn, the first one, though, what do you call it?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
You're done.
No. Okay.
Or you mean
When
Forbidden
play
West, the sequel?
Forbidden West, yeah. When you play Forbidden West, you feel like you're playing just the first one, but bigger, right? Like everybody complains about that. I'm not bigger, but the first one just nicer graphics and the mechanics were fine tuned.
Mhm.
That's all it was. Is the game itself? I mean, it's still a massive open world game. The first one was a massive open world, so that's not changed. The mechanics of where you fight is exactly the same. That hasn't changed, right? We all agree about that.
Mhm.
Okay. So the biggest complaint is that it feels exactly the same. This is not like if you took this is not like they took the Dark Souls world and they just said, okay, now you're stuck in this little.
But it does. It
It
does
is.
feel that way.
Oh, how
The
does-
only
how
the
can it-
only way that you would feel like it's not pulled out of a Dark Souls game is if you never played a Dark Souls game. The fact that I've played Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, I've played Demon Souls, I've played Sekiro, I've played Neo 1 and 2, I've played Bloodborne, I've played them all. And this feels like the same thing because I've played them all.
Okay, but wait. So what I'm trying to say, I'm start over. I'm fucking fighting a giant and fucking dying at the same time. So. Alright,
So he's still playing Elden Ring right now. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the biggest thing about Dark Souls game is that when Dark Souls first came out, Dark Souls was a game unlike anything else, right? Dark Souls came out and it became its own genre. Like we all know, you play a game and it's like, oh, this is just another Dark Souls ripoff. That's the common thing that people say, right?
Mhm.
So it became its own genre. Now you have that's what this is. This is its own genre. This is an RPG, hence Dark Souls game.
Mhm.
You know, like they literally have its own format of what they call these type of games now. Now, Elden Ring came out and perfected every aspect of this. Like you can't say
Agreed. I agree.
I play Final Fantasy 7 and then I play Final Fantasy 8 and it played the same. Yeah, it's a fucking turn-based RPG game.
Mhm.
This is a Dark Souls game.
Which it plays exactly the same. It's a
Exactly,
very
like
careful
every
strategic hack and slash with RPG
just
elements,
like just
and
like
it's
every
difficult.
other just like every other game. JRPGs especially are very the same. They have, the turn-based strategy games, whatever you
Mhm.
want to call it, right?
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
what this is. But this perfected every aspect of any of those games. So every single little great aspect that was in any of the older games are now in this one.
I
And brought
agree.
put
I
that
agree with you on that, but I don't see how that makes it stand out from the rest of the other games.
I have a question.
Just because they improved on the stuff that already existed doesn't mean that it stands out from the rest. It just
Okay.
means it's
listen, I mean,
better. And I agree that it's better. It is better. I just don't think it's a 10 out of 10.
So what would you give it?
but what makes a game 10 out of 10? Like just
Something
because you
innovative
play
and new. Especially something innovative and new. Something
You
different.
but this is extremely innovative. They took
It's
the
literally just all you did was make a Dark Souls game and let them roam free. That's the way I see it. That's all you
but
did with the game.
it's not just you roam free. Is they let you roam free and they added so much fucking content
Sure.
in the game that
But
you can
stuff
do.
that you can also do in Dark Souls, gain a lot of different weapons, gain a lot of different magic, fight a lot of different bosses that you don't necessarily
Yes.
have to fight.
Yes.
You do all
But
that in Dark Souls games as well.
but the difference between Dark Souls and Elden Ring is that Dark Souls is very linear. You have to do it in
Yeah,
set order. You have to do it
Again,
in set.
I agree,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
again, that's the
Uh-huh.
open world aspect of
But
things.
that's what I'm saying.
I
You
w-
can get
I
uh-huh.
aside from everybody's making this big deal about the open world aspect of it. Like just because it's an open world game does not make it a brand new game. Like that's what I'm
It
saying about it. If you could look past the fact that it's open world, it's nothing but a regular Dark Souls game.
but you see it that way because you've played every Dark Souls and
Yes.
you're
Yes.
comparing it.
Yes.
You're literally like shot for shot comparing it for every
Absolutely.
Dark Souls. And that's the problem. You're
Yes.
looking at it as another Dark Souls game
Yes.
rather than looking at it as its own game. They could be like, "Oh, this is very similar to Dark Souls,"
Uh-huh.
but then what's the difference? And that's what I said. Like for me, all the rune arcs, the armaments, that is new to me because all weapons
Mhm.
have their own thing and it requires that. But now they made it that it's like you can use it even if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. They're very specific on items that help you in whatever build you want. If you want a shield that parries, you can have a shield that parries. You can have a shield that lets you do your armament even if you had the shield. Dark Souls didn't have that.
Mhm.
They had that. It's like you have to two-hand it, and then you have to use the item. It's like you have to dual hand a weapon to be able to use it that way. And Dark Souls didn't have that. That's something
But
that's what I'm saying.
you could dual wield and do other things with weapons as
you
well in
can't.
Dark
You
Souls.
can, but you can't dual wield. You can't use the effect. You can't use like let's say you use twin katanas, right? And it has like a jump. You
You're
can't.
breaking up. Say it again.
Oh, sorry. I'm saying like let's say you have a dual wielding katana, right? That you can do an overhead slash. In this game, you can do it even if you don't have to dual. That's what I'm saying. Like, it gives you so much variety to do that, and you can dual wield. You can do whatever. You can literally have whatever built. Not even built. You can have whatever weapon you want in this game, and then
In every other Dark Souls game, there's always been two classes really.
yep,
There's
mage,
a, a mage
mage,
and somebody who attacks with a sword. That's
yeah,
it. Even the
yeah.
cleric, like, and I do that in quotation marks. Even the cleric stuff that you
You
do,
you
it's just an add-on.
Eh.
It's
You,
just an add-on. In
you've
this,
got a big yes, you have a big handful of classes you can choose from, but they're very slight tweaked iterations of what already exists though.
they're not slightly tweaked; they're extremely tweaked. You
They're
can make
no,
a
because
stat
all
full
you're
on a
changing is the stats because I could choose a cleric and all I gotta do is focus on strength and whatever else that I wanted to
I'm
and
not
turn it
talking about.
into a warrior if I wanted to. It doesn't
But
make a difference.
yes, I'm not saying you pick a cleric. I'm saying you make a cleric.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
make a warrior from nothing. or whatever it is you want to do. The
Mhm.
starting stat obviously is just a guide of look,
Well,
this
I
could
I
be
thought that's what you were going into, is just the fact that there's a lot more options for choosing classes, which
Mm,
choosing classes is just an illusion
it-
in
no,
this
no.
game because you can turn
And
it into
that's what
whatever
I'm
you
saying.
want.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And the other Dark Souls game, it was the same exact illusion. You had a warrior and a mage, but ultimately a warrior, mage, an assassin, cleric. But ultimately, it was almost the same exact like class you pick. But
Yeah,
ultimately, you ended up with just a warrior who can just smash things with all his strength, and he'll put a spell on him or something like
yeah,
a
yeah.
buff up your strength even more, and that's it.
mm,
And then you had a mage who just blast you from afar. That's it. Those were the two very distinct. Even if you had a
It-
cleric, the cleric was either a full-on I just attack shit from afar cleric, or I put myself up cleric. Like
like you.
yeah,
that.
yeah,
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 that's
Yeah,
it. There
and
was no, there was no in between
in between at all.
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
at all. This has a huge in between because you can legit make a cleric class that all he does is heal everybody. There's
Hmm.
tons of healing spells that heal other people. There's spells that
No, that's
made
so
for
wrong.
multiplayer. What are you talking about?
You
What's
can
wrong?
have you can have in between classes in Dark Souls
Yes, I'm not.
games.
No, not to this extent.
Well, yes,
Not
you
to this
can.
extent.
Absolutely you can. I can put on a
Yes,
wand on a warrior and use it as long as I invest a little bit of time in his faith and his intellect and whatever else that I need to put into it. So I can make a warrior and still make
Hmm.
a mage at the same time, or a cleric and a monk, or a rogue and a barbarian. I could still have those in betweens in a Dark Souls game as long as I invest the time and the souls for it.
but in this game, you can. That's what I'm saying. In this one, you can do more than just like if you wanted to make a dual wielding assassin guy who does all these fucking things with crazy katanas, you can do that and fully go into it. There's so many different type of weapon arts and moves and stuff that help pump that up, that make it
Hmm.
more distinguish it from this. I just put on. I'm a barbarian who put on a wand. Because
Yeah.
that's what you're saying. You're saying I'm a big ass barbarian who just put on a wand
Ah,
instead of dual class.
Well,
Nah,
obviously, it's just not that simple. You have to invest the time in the
eggs.
what do we call it in Elden Ring now?
whatever you call it.
The
It's the ring.
souls,
The rune,
whatever, the
the
runes.
But
runes,
Yes,
the
it's
runes.
and again, it's the same as that. But it's not just that. It's like you have tons of different. It took Dark Souls game and it took Elder Scroll. It's great
Yes,
RPG,
I
and it
agree.
combined those together, and that hasn't been done because
Kevin's walking away. That's what it seems
but
like.
that's
Yeah.
never been done before. That because Dark Souls didn't do that. Dark Souls was Dark Souls. You go into the room, you go into the portal, you just go throughout the little dungeon or whatever it is.
Kevin, you
People
look like
sneak
you
up
were fed
behind
up. You were about to walk away.
all the time.
No, no, no. I was letting Kokomo in the room.
Yeah.
People sneak up on you. You beat the boss at the end, and you start rinse and repeat. You die, whatever. In this,
Mhm.
you can choose to do whatever you want. Like go fight a dragon and actually kill the dragon if you want right away.
Yeah.
Go tons of different dungeons, do all types of crazy stuff before you even
I that's
hit the main storyline,
it's
and you can never do that in Dark Souls. There's no Dark
absolutely
Souls game
not. I
that
agree with you, but
so
you guys still
that
going around
pressure
in
that
circles
pressure
about the fact that it's an open world game that you can do whatever you want. I get that. That's a very attractive
Mhm.
reason why you'd want to play this game, and I'm not knocking why, that's
and
if
then
that's the
okay, and
reason
then
why
the
you
game
want to.
and then
But
the gameplay and the gameplay, the art set that change up the fact that you come from just a straight up barbarian guy. All your main thing was to slash. That's what you did. Slash slash slash. If you were just a barbarian, that's all you can do is slash slash slash. If
in
you were
Dark Souls,
Dark Souls,
you
basically.
sure?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course you can there are some like spell type moves that you have, but it was mostly concerned like you literally had to switch to the spell to do it with you. And this with those arts, it makes everything so much game changer on
Mm.
how you use the arts and how you equipped, and then switch to one handed to do a different art, switch to your other weapon to do another art. Like you
Okay.
could as a melee person can way more.
Can I can I
So
tell you the
hold
difference?
on, before because I want to try to understand Danny's point. So you're saying, so finally we're getting somewhere about you're actually offering me something different, a different perspective as to why I should appreciate the game more than I am right now. But
Mhm.
you're saying that the addition to this new system called arts for this thing is the best aspect of this game in order to
Yeah,
be more flexible for gameplay.
yeah, because the arts itself helps really distinguish what you want to do because there's so many different types of arts that you can now literally have arts that fully enhance your barbarian to be that spell blade. Because you don't have to cast spells. You have an art that casts that can put that spell or whatever it is on the blade itself. So when you do your attack, it does it as well. So
Hmm.
you truly become that spell blade that you always pretend that you are because you equipped it a wand on your big guy with a buster sword. No, now your sword is a giant fucking wand that also fucking shoots out a giant fucking bankai.
Mm-hmm. You talking
And
about what? Tenget? What you said? Bankai. Bankai is a
Bankai.
transformation, my guy.
the Sengetsu, yeah, the
Senget,
Sengetsu.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I
it's
know what he
just
meant. Yeah.
but it just makes it changes everything up, and then finding them and the how many they have,
Uh-huh.
and then they have the summons for solo player that are just there are I think I counted somebody else who had it. I think 30 different summons.
Bro.
There's a summon right that can literally mimic your entire moveset. So when you summon him, it is you fighting.
So you
So
got a
if
double ganker. You got a
So
double
if
ganker.
you have some crazy fucking that you do some crazy fucking thing when you blow up, he does it too. And it's just like absolutely insane of like the stuff that you can choose to do. Or you have that the summon that can pump up the entire pump you up boost you up your faith and or whatever it is your stat you're going for, and do more damage. Or one that damn near just a tank. Like that is just insanely crazy
I
for
should.
solo player because it makes solo player fun because we know how fun multiplayer is. Multiplayer is a completely different option. So if you can summon
Yeah, yeah.
somebody
It's
to
a different
kind of give you
experience.
a little bit of that, you get a little bit of it and then go, okay, this is fun. I like this.
I should. I
And
should mention. I
if
should
you want to
mention
find
with Danny. Danny's making a lot of sense because you've been playing a lot longer, so there's a lot more stuff that you've experienced than I have. So there's only so much that I've already been
more.
through.
And I
You
and
know what
I
I mean?
I truly believe the first stage is that 100% the introduction to go, yeah, we know you play Dark Souls, so we're gonna make sure that you're so comfortable with the Dark Souls, and that's what this first part is. This
Mm-hmm.
first part is like a Dark Souls copy. But then once you finish this, and once you really have to roam around and actually find stuff, and actually have to use the multiplayer and use your mount and use the search and use everything, and and everybody's like, oh yeah, you're on your mountain, you're just running through shit. But yeah, you have to actually like observe the area, get your area, campsites, what do you call 'em? The graces. You have to
Mm-hmm.
get the graces, and then once you get the graces, then you could come up with a game plan of how you want to attack this new area. Okay, I can't fucking go here because these guys one shot me. Fuck. Okay, now I have to go back to
Oh
this
well,
area.
that's that's
Farm a little
that's
bit.
any Dark Souls game too. But
Well,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah, and that's like you couldn't go to certain portals, but I'm saying, but it has like huge areas that are like, okay, I can still go in here, grab the item, and fuck off, and now
Hmm.
I have this badass sword that I pull from this area really quickly, and but it's not gonna make me like it may seemingly make you overpowered, but you still gotta play the game. I mean, yeah, of course, if you're just running past a bunch of people, I mean, there's tons of speed walkthroughs of people doing it naked. Like, yeah, that's
Yep.
the whole point. You can always speed walk through somebody, but the second you actually have to fight these fuckers, watch what happens to you. You will die. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah.
Because you
Kevin,
have to get good at all these different areas.
And
Kevin, what were you
something.
saying?
Listen, I could say that I can mention two things that's not going to change your opinion, but it's going to make you think very appreciative of the game. You have a jump button,
Oh my
and
god.
yeah, you Mister
Yeah.
abuse it. You abuse the jump button.
But the thing is I
No.
did the same
But
thing with Sekiro. Like Sekiro's no
No, no,
different. Like,
no.
because
But
we already discussed the fact that yes,
uh-huh.
I agree. I'm not disputing the fact that I agree
No.
that Elden Ring brings together all the best things of all the From Software
Hmm.
games. So, including the jump button with Sekiro, and I did the same exact thing with Sekiro. I jumped the fuck out of that game. Like I jumped, slashed everything.
Hmm.
So my habit is no different for Elden Ring, but
But
the
and
jump button doesn't mean anything for me.
And the
But
second,
jump, but they use the jump button so smart. And I'm in a place right now where I have to use the mount to jump around all these crazy trees and rooftops and shit.
Mhm.
Like it's not just a jump button for fun to say that you have a jump button. They have a reason for the jump button. You need to be able to actually diverse and use and do some parkour shit. Like that level was the first level. Remember we were doing,
Mhm.
Danny? The first level. What we do? We're on top of rooftops,
Hmm.
fucking jumping off of shit and jumping down and doing all this crazy shit. And if you jump in the right spot, you can get some.
But here
You can get a palm
but the thing
fucking
is
weapon.
the way that I see it is that every single Dark Souls game has one of those type of levels where you're jumping from rooftop to rooftops,
Yeah,
or
Yeah,
bro.
like
jump.
you're really
Yeah.
close. You're running on ledges, pretty much like running
What?
really
What?
close through
What?
to death and stuff like that. But like, so the jump button is a great addition. I'm not disputing that either. I'm just saying that the jump button is nothing special because it's already been done in other games before. You're just adding it into the game, this game here. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
again, you're putting together everything that's great about all the other games and stuff like that,
Mhm.
but it still feels and plays the same to me.
Okay.
I never. I
Hold on, I
personally
want to
never played a Dark
let me hear
Souls
from
game with
Kevin
a jump
because
button. So
Kevin wanted to say
I
something
never played
before.
Sekiro.
Okay. So the jump button is one thing, but the also another thing is a mechanic in the game that FromSoft had a fucking issue, and I hated it. And I'm glad that they fixed it.
Hmm.
That every time you kill an enemy, you don't know if they're going to drop an item. So you sit there and you wait and you watch them die. The way that they did it, and they did it so fucking smart, is that you know how like in certain FromSoft games, like if you're gonna fight an enemy, they're red, and then they like kill you in like 2 hits or some shit like that, right? Everybody can agree with that.
Like invaders.
Yeah, no, not invaders. Like a boss, like a
Yeah.
certain boss. Like they would be like have red eyes. Their aura would be red, but they would just be like a regular monster, and they would
Oh,
kill you.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The way they did it was just like, okay, every enemy that you kill that has glowing eyes has an item. It's an automatic drop, and it's just like a quick oh shit, I didn't know that he dropped that. So you don't have to sit there and waste time waiting over the enemy to be like, oh, did he drop something? Maybe he dropped something. I don't know. And that mechanic seems so like small, but it's like it saves you so much like mental time, like just time to be like, all right, he didn't drop anything, and then you just go about your business. Or he dropped something, you pick it up and you go.
Hmm.
And being able to like the mount, I didn't know this till I watched the video about it. And the mounts like I would say control is very, very well done. Very well done. And the double jump, you're not gonna pay mind to it, but it saves you if you're because there's a difference if
You
you
broke up.
fall.
It
Oh,
saves
sorry.
what
It saves your life because in case, like, for example, right?
for her long falls.
Yeah, from long falls. But no, you
Yeah.
die. You still die from long falls. If you jump off, it's different. If you fall off, there's no double jump. You just fell off the cliff. If you
Mm.
jump, you can save yourself and jump back on the ledge. And FromSoft, you can't do it before. You couldn't do that even in Sekiro, unless you like latch onto something.
Hmm.
But there's not much spaces to latch on in Sekiro when you're like falling, depending on where you're at. But that those mechanics change the whole the whole idea of it, and the way that you find like what Sober was saying before, the way you find these armaments is so fucking crazy because you won't think like, oh, there's nobody down, like you just see a bonfire down there, it's like, oh, that's a checkpoint. No, that's where you fight somebody and you get
Well,
their
yeah,
it,
those are
Again,
the way
and
the way that I see the caves and stuff like that is kind of like Breath of the Wild when you
yes,
have all these random shrines everywhere and you kind of just
yep,
run into one and you have yourself a little bit of a dungeon pretty much.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, and some of them are like that, and some of them are like this fucking crazy. Just another a new Dark Souls level,
mm-hmm,
just as big. They're massive.
yeah, bro. When you fight enemies like, and it's enemies that you won't even. I'll just have. I fought a giant fucking blue elf, like a dark elf,
What?
and I fought. Yeah, that's how I got the gravity pull. That shit. I didn't think he was gonna use it again. Fight them and like you get
Keep
these
breaking up.
abilities. I keep breaking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going
Oh
like
shit.
in and out.
Oh shit. Then it's probably it's bad. It's gonna be bad. Um, like when you start fighting these enemies, it like the exploration dungeon. It becomes more like you start. You know.
My kid's been crying for like an hour now. Hold on. Right back.
Go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead. But when you start finding these armaments like by chance, like, and then you start using them and seeing how effective they are, it changes my aspect of the game because it's not like I could just do a big fuck off slash. You could do a big fuck off suck in, and then like all the enemies get pulled in, and it forces you to use like play smart
Yeah,
rather than just playing
that's
dumb.
the strategic aspect of
Yeah,
again just a lot of
yeah,
Dark Souls games. But
yeah.
I mostly like Danny's argument about
Mhm.
the additional skills that you can add onto the weapons and stuff like that. That's
No,
something
and
that hasn't been done before for a Dark Souls game. So those are the
it's
type of things that I look for. Those are the things that I appreciate. Is the new stuff.
mhm,
Aside from, because a lot of games nowadays they make the same game and all they do is slap on open world, and all
yeah,
of a sudden it's fucking innovative
yeah,
and a groundbreaking game, and I think that's
mhm,
bullshit.
mhm,
So the whole open world aspect is not what drew me into the game. The whole,
mhm,
you know for it being a Dark Souls game is the only reason why I wanted to play the game in the first place.
mhm.
So yeah, I like Danny's explanation about it, saying that there are very small details of new things that are added into the games that haven't been done before, and those are the things that I'm looking for.
It's hard to it's very interesting that that point is something that like we all can agree on because me playing the game I would be the generic swordsman fucking whatever I'll run around as a knight and then I'll have it like enough intelligence that I can use like an extra healing item, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And that's how I always played the game, but with this one it's more like a what else can I do? I want to see poison, like what's a poison ability that I can use that I can have the build up for, or what's like the armament that I can use that benefits what I want to do. Like, imagine having a fucking Getsuga Tensho that's a poison buildup of 100. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
fucking disgusting. And it's like
Actually, you just made me remember that there's actually a crafting system. Crafting system
it's
hasn't been done
yeah,
in the game either. So that's actually something that's fairly new. That's fairly useful because we had to do crafting in order
mm-hmm,
to use those finger things in order for us
yep.
to play multiplayer together.
We had to.
So I'm
We had,
appreciative of that too as well. It's a good thing.
I hate.
The crafting system I think is very interesting. I'm curious of how much you can craft, and you can also tailor your um you tailor your armor too.
And
So
you
you can make
really?
yeah, you find tailoring sets so you can change the colors and stuff. But
Mm.
Ooh. That's fucking. I mean, it's been done in another FromSoft game, but I'm gonna let this one rock because the way that they do it is like I like that this game is like you can do everything on the road. It's not like you have to go to like your home base or like the bonfire to do anything. Like the usual they have like if you want to put up your flask or whatever, you have to go to the bonfire. That's a given. But you can change the color of your armor while walking. Because I don't know why they have this bad habit of not giving you a fucking pause button. Like
Well,
the
they still
pause button.
don't. You're
No,
not
no, no,
paused.
no. That's what I'm saying. They don't give you a pause button, so you can't think and do it. It's more like you got to go to the bonfire. You got to stay by the bonfire, press pause, and then hope an enemy doesn't just sneak around and slap you in the ass.
You want to know what my number one biggest thing that I'm happy with in this
Uh,
game because of the
uh,
fact that it's open world?
uh.
Fast travel.
oh my god, yeah,
Fast
fast travel
travel is the best
Changes,
thing.
it
Like,
really is.
yeah.
it changes your whole life. I
I
don't
can
have to ride back over there.
I can imagine having the fast travel to these places. I mean, to run back and forth to all these places
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
And because with
that's
the old Dark Souls games, all you can do was jump from bonfire to bonfire, but you had to reach a bonfire.
Mm-hmm.
So at least with this, you could be in the middle of nowhere as long as there's no combat going on. You can be in the middle of nowhere, open up your map, and just travel wherever you found
No.
a bonfire, whatever the fuck those things are
Mm,
called.
yeah. I actually love that mechanic of the fast travel because it's something so it's been done before and it hasn't been done in Dark Souls. And it's like,
Hmm.
oh, I died. All right, I'm gonna go around and then it's like you can be very strategic of how you do it. If an enemy was like in a specific area and you couldn't go through there, you'll use the fast travel to go behind them and then get a critical attack. And then the critical attack, it's so I actually like it that you can cause it whenever. So most of the time, it's usually depending on your weapon and how you hold it. It's every two fully charged attacks, and you could do two fully charged attacks when you jump. So it's easier to just do one, two, then they get into the stagger animation, and
Mm.
you can abuse it. And that's something that I found somebody telling me is some weapons Some weapons are two, like big swords and like axes and like like big heavy weapons are usually two critical hits, but small weapons is usually three fully charged hits, and it's the same result. But it's because you're faster, you're giving up damage over speed, and that's another way you can play. It's been done in most Dark Souls games, but it's like it's a mechanic that they implemented with weapons specifically, and I'm like, I love seeing that in these type of games, because I become giddy and like start loving them. Like the more I start playing it, because it's like I don't have to play the same brain dead generic way I always play every Dark Souls game. I can literally play this however I want and
Just
think.
run around in circles
Yeah,
on an enemy until you
exactly.
until the opening.
You want to know how the first hour of me playing the game, I was like, I kept running behind shield and backstabbing them, because I was like, this is Dark Souls. But then when you start fighting the enemies that they don't let you go behind them, they literally stay in front of you and beat your ass. It's like you have to learn how to fight them, and it's like a learning process of like, oh, I can use magic, I can do this, I can summon wolves to jump him. I couldn't do that in Dark Souls. I had to summon a friend.
That is a
And
good point too. The summoning thing is a new thing also. I don't think I don't think any
no,
game did summoning, right?
no. Nero.
Well, Neo
It wasn't
even though
summons.
no,
It
no, no.
wasn't summons.
I was gonna say Neo. Although Neo is a Dark Soulish game, Neo was not a From Software game.
No, it's not. But I'm saying Neo is like the closest thing to using a summon, but it's only you use the ability. You don't actually have an ally that you can summon with you running around. And it's like whenever they die.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fucking cool. Like I was like, I don't have to play the game by myself. I can jump an enemy by just throwing the wolves at him and then letting them fuck him. Like, bro, when I got like the group, it's like a group summoning, and like they beat the shit out of a boss for me. I didn't even get involved. I like just threw like knives from deep. He started building up blood. He died. Like he got like one hit, and they just jumped him. And I was like, yeah, I didn't have to do shit. Like you could, it's fun ways to cheat the boss. Like they give you like fun ways to cheat, but they don't make the game easy with these summons, because they can die in one hit. They're just as vulnerable as regular enemies. Like that's fucking cool. I enjoy it.
and you can make the game, and the game gets easier. Sorry, the the summons become almost void after a while. Like they're there just to help you for a brief second, and it's not just and they become more beefier, but they don't do as much damage, and it still don't matter, because the amount of stuff that the bosses do, because they can do so much better graphics now, it's becoming so much intense. It's like it's like fighting the second to last boss in every Dark Souls game, because they always said not the last boss is usually just some easy guy, but the second to last one is always like this giant monster thing, and it's like fighting that for almost every single boss after a while, and you just can't believe what new mechanic or new how much bigger it can get until they do it. You know,
I'm
there's a
I'm so
giant battlefield, and you
I'm
just have
so
to run
distracted
around.
right now. I'm sorry. I'm so distracted right now with Kevin's dogs. Like, I feel like if Kevin was ever like a supervillain or something, he'd have like two dogs on his shoulders, and then he'd just be like, "Sick 'em," and he just
You want to
fucking destroy.
you
Like he's the final boss, and his
you know
dogs are the things you have to deal with.
you know what's the funny thing? I feel like the origin story of John Wick, the reason he did what he did would be the same reason I do what I do.
Jesus.
that's that's it. All it takes is one dog. Come on, go.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you guys make good points. I'm not saying the game is bad. The game's not bad. Or else I wouldn't be playing it anyways. Um, I just saw it as pretty much the same thing. But you make good points. The jumping aspect is still something that's helpful. The mounting aspect is something that's appreciative about, because that's something that hasn't been done either.
Fast travel.
The weapon skill stuff that Danny mentioned, that stuff also is brand new to the game. That gives a little bit of a difference as well. Um,
Fast travel.
I have the fast travel. I mentioned the fast travel stuff. The fast travel stuff helps. So those are the new aspects of the game that I'm appreciative with. What was I gonna say? I just haven't played enough of the game yet to really feel these things. Like again, I've only been playing the game for about 3 days. I don't know how long Kevin's been playing it, but Danny's been playing it since day one. So he has seen more of the game. So I haven't seen that stuff.
Nah, I've seen it. I've seen like how different the game was the moment I got my mount. The instant I got my mount, the game changed for me. Because it's like having a mount and then fast travel, it makes the game not as tedious. And I don't feel like I have to go to a bonfire, then do this and do that. Like imagine if the game didn't have a mount. Like, and you have to travel everywhere by foot. It would be tedious. And I would agree that I'm like, that shit is boring.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't it would be dreadful.
That's what put me off of like a lot of the Wind Waker. Even Breath of the Wild is really hard for me to play sometimes because it's like, oh fuck.
Well, that's why they for the HD version of Wind Waker they made the oceans smaller. They put the islands a lot closer together because people complained about how you just sailed and sailed and sailed for so long for no reason.
20 actual minutes of sailing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the game. It's still relatively new, and I feel like somebody's gonna learn how to break it. It's fucking
Of course.
the game is gorgeous, even on like the last gen, like the gens I have. It's fucking gorgeous. On the newer gen, it looks amazing. The story is like it's not for everybody, but it's very informative, and the game gives you a goal. But they say basically however you want to attain it is however you want to attain it. And that's something that I enjoyed. It's like, oh yeah, you just go to like, you go to the fucking you go to fight Calamity Ganon, but however you want to get there is however you want to get there. And that's something that I like.
I just want to fight him with a twig and a wooden shield.
Get 300 twigs and get 2 wooden shields, you should bury the shit out of him. Since parry doesn't break your weapon.
All right, so I'm gonna end it here because we're gonna be running at about over an hour and a half. I want to get any final thoughts from the both of you guys about anything we talked about today.
Hope the Smash community, like it gets better. That it's like it's more inviting, not more inviting, but it's like more safer for everybody, not just the children, like for everybody that's involved, and like just I hope that they have more that they in like EVO 2023 because it made EVO. Like it hurts that the game's not there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was surprised. I'm not a huge Evo fan, but yeah, that's because you said actually last episode, Smash Brothers was one of the top games like that.
It was a top
where it identifies what Evo is pretty much.
It was Street Fighter Third Strike and Marvel 2 and Melee.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It was Smash 64 or Melee. I think it was one of the two. But
yeah.
Don't add me. But
one of the Smash, regardless. Smash.
Yeah. And that's what it hurt. It hurts because I'm not like completely part of the community, but I know people that are.
Yeah.
And then like finding out some of those things is like it discourages them. They wanted the people to do better, but it's just like what they can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they feel helpless. But that and Elden Ring is an amazing game. If you haven't played it, play that shit.
Play that game.
Play that game, and don't listen to Drunk Guardian. He's lying. He's at
gunpoint
right now.
Don't I would again. I have my gripes with the game. I would still 100% recommend the game. 100%. I would never tell anybody not to play this game. I would never tell anybody not to play a Dark Souls game. Like people sometimes need a challenge. And if you can have a challenge and at the same time kind of do whatever you want, Elden Ring is your shit.
Can I tell you what I felt the moment I fell in love when I was playing with you guys and the floating bucket happened?
I wish I could see that. Did you take a picture? You said?
Yeah, I took a picture.
Took a screenshot.
I took a screenshot, and then there was another event when I was playing by myself, and it's like just jankness that happens in the game. That a sheep was trying to run away from me, and it got sucked into the rock, and it like you see it like dying, and it just keeps going up and down, up and down.
Put the screenshot on Twitter or something. So I can see
that. I got you. And that shit, it traumatized me. And I was like, I'd saved the video of the sheep getting killed, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna just kill him to save his life. It's no point to let him suffer like that.
Oh man, yeah. Danny, what about you? Anything?
No, I'm excited to play it, keep playing and have fun. And
oh yeah,
and I'm just curious on how much more they can give me because I have this. You have no idea how extensive this shit is, and I'm still finding and doing stuff. And I love mages, so it's the fact
Mm-hmm.
that I
Yep.
get mage specialty spells. It's just for me, it's just phenomenal. That's actually what I'm working on now.
Hey, I forgot a point.
Oh, shit, it's just fun. I'm having lots of fun.
I forgot. There's a point. Yo, can I tell you that it like the backtracking doesn't feel as bad? Like it doesn't feel obvious.
No.
Like when
Yeah,
you go, there's an area that you go back, and this is where I found the gravity pool thing. The area that you see where that item is, that is just like just up there, and it doesn't seem like you can get there. You get there from the fucking gravity guy, and I was like, whoa, I'm back at the beginning again. Why the fuck am I here? And then you
yeah.
travel on.
There's a lot of like backtracking places, but you don't.
But you'll
It
discover
makes
something new.
Yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of
Yeah.
like the place where I was playing with you. I'm like, oh, I never been inside. I was like, cool.
Yeah. And
There's a lot of areas in that
Mhm.
first level, but it's like, well, you got to be way higher level to beat this thing. Okay,
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
all that's just really fun.
So any final thoughts, Drunk Guardian, on any
Oh, for
topic we're
me,
talking about? Yeah.
I mean, I am more convinced about why people are making such a big deal of the game. Mostly because of the newer things that you guys mentioned that are added into the game, not the old stuff that's already been done with every single Dark Souls game. It's the new stuff. It's the skills. It's the mounts. It's the fast travel. Those type of things are the things that I look for. When you just smash a lot of things together that's already been done before, especially when it's the same franchise, it doesn't mean it's going to be a bad game, but I always see it as it's just the same shit. It's just a different name or a different franchise. So yeah, I'm more or less convinced. It's just like there's more that I'm looking forward to. There's more I want to play around with. Again, I've only been 3 days into it, so yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited now to do more with it. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, that's
See what
it.
you
That
got.
that's it for the episode. Again, thank you guys for joining us. And don't forget that you can go to gamerguardians.net for all the audio podcast links, as well as a YouTube page as well. And you can also check out game reviews that I do for the Coalition. That's Coalition with a K. We have links to that as well on the website if you want to check out any game reviews for stuff that I do. Boneless Bones, you've finally been streaming. So, Boneless Bones, he does some streaming as well. Go ahead, Boneless.
Guys, Boneless Bones back at it again with these beautiful people. And yes, I started streaming again. I finally got over whatever situation, personal problems I was going through. Got the the inspiration to start streaming again, and it feels good. I was streaming Elden Ring. Before that, I was streaming Dying Light 2, and it was good. I love Elden Ring from what I'm playing. I don't see any game topping it at this very moment from how like everything that like how unanimous the game is and how good it is and all the reviews that I'm hearing about it. And yes, I stream at bone twitch.tv/boneless bones. And I also have a YouTube. I'm gonna start posting videos again, I promise. I'm not just having my dead YouTube channel there. And it's boneless bones, no underscore TV at YouTube. And I'll look to you guys over there. Stay powerful and stay beautiful.
All right, Danny, say bye.
Peace, everybody.
We'll see you guys next week. And we'll be streaming some more, probably some Destiny, some Elden Ring,
Just the
some
ring.
fighting games.
Frames.
Yeah. So whatever else. So we'll see you guys then.